Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This one's kind of an impromptu video of one that I was kind of thinking about doing, but we're gonna watch his Attack on Titan review, as he wants to call it. Lost in translation, Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom. Now, unfortunately for you, I have food because I'm hungry, and I'm gonna be eating this as I commentate over this video. This is spanakopita, but you can call it spinach pie. It's great. It's a great. I guess it's Greek. I don't know. Whatever. Let's continue. Let's watch this.
What's going on, everyone? Phil here again, and welcome back to KOGaming.
Oh, good. Phil is here. I was afraid it was gonna be that dick Billy or something. You know. Glad Phil is here.
You know, over the years that I've been a YouTuber, I've seen many successful pop culture franchises be adapted into video game form. Now, some of these easily adjust to make a pretty entertaining experience when it comes to an interactive video game, while others need to be adapted and adjusted a lot in order to make something that's entertaining. And so when Attack on Titan was announced that it would finally be this video game coming out this year, I was intrigued. You know, a couple years back, I actually watched both parts 1 and 2 of season.
I like how now he gets it right. That is part 1 and 2. But also, remember the 3DS Attack on Titan game? Yeah, everyone loved that game, right?
Season 1 of this anime. It's left us at a cliffhanger ever since then, and I think anyone who's fans of the show have been fervently awaiting when it will continue, while those who read the manga are way ahead of us, but that's cool. I'm okay with waiting for the anime to release the next season. And so when this video game was announced, you're like, man, how is this lore, how is this franchise going to translate into an interactive game that maybe is going to be worth a $60 purchase? And now we have our answer. Attack on Titan, or Wings of Freedom, as it's called outside of the United States, I guess maybe there's some kind of a copyright issue there or something, is a game from the makers of the same people who have developed.
I like how he doesn't really look into why they changed the name. He's, well, I guess it's this. And man, I really hate that he keeps doing these fucking cringy ass. Oh shit. You know, those kind of noises, they're so fucking annoying.
Games such as Dynasty Warriors, so you have to kind of expect a certain kind of parallel comparison between the two franchises when it comes to the video game adaptation of Attack on Titan. How does it fare? Well, let's take a look together. Existing fans of the Attack on Titan franchise are going to be feeling much at home here because the plotline of the video game follows directly along with that of the first season of the anime. So if you've watched that anime, you're going to actually love this game because it feels like you're reliving all those plot lines and stories that happened during that first season, only you finally get to play through it and interact with it and be a part of it, which is a really awesome interactive experience. You will be controlling the humans, whether it's your part of the interior guard, which are kind of like the military police, or if you end up being the scouts who are looking outside of the walls. You're here to defend humans from these giant mutated Titan creatures that are trying to eat the innocent civilians at every turn, and also knock down the protective walls of your settlement in order to let more Titans in. The cool thing about it is that it really feels like you're playing a game such as Spider-Man, where you're using this omnidirectional tool to attach swinging ropes and different kinds of zip lines onto the buildings and propel yourself in any direction. It's really cool and free-flowing and lets the game feel like more of an open world than games in the Dynasty Warrior series, where you pretty much rely on running on foot or riding a horse in order to get from point A to point B. In Attack on Titan, it really does feel a lot more freedom. On the flip side of that, though, there are going to be stages where there aren't any buildings or trees to attach your omnidirectional tool to, so there actually are horses that in certain parts you will ride across these areas as well, so you can go a little bit faster. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, in addition to just the zip lines, there is a little jet propulsion system on your backpack that allows you to do a dodge, so if there's a Titan that's trying to come at you, you can dodge them at the last second. Actually, if a Titan is about to grab you, it goes into this little quick time event where the screen turns blue and you have half a second to do a dodge, and each character, I believe, gets to do this 2 or 3 times per stage. It's kind of like a way to dodge damage, and it is a little bit of a protection against those who maybe are getting used to this system from the get-go. In addition to just the freeform movement, there's obviously combat. Now, the one thing that I do want to emphasize, you're going to be fighting Titans, and that's it. Don't expect any kind of crazy variety from what you saw in the series. You're just going to be fighting Titans. Of course,
weren't they only fighting Titans in the anime series? Like, what variety was in the anime series that wasn't in the game? I watched the show. I'm pretty sure that they don't fight anything other than Titans. So I don't know what variety Phil is expecting. I don't even know what he was talking about. But man, this voice is so annoying. Like, I can kind of, like, I mean, he was annoying in the Sonic 06 playthrough as well, but like, at least in most of his game playthroughs, it's like just normal annoying Phil with saying annoying things. In KOGaming, it's like he finds the most annoying tone of voice to talk for 99% of the time in these videos. So not only is he saying stuff that's like kind of annoying sometimes, but he also sounds very annoying. It's terrible.
there are a wide variety of Titans, including little ones, big ones that make you hack at their limbs before you can actually hack at their weak point. There's actual specialty Titans that tie directly in with the plotline of the anime, which I won't go too far into for those of you who maybe have not watched it yet. But there is basically kind of the same kind of combat no matter what you're doing in the game. You're going to be trying to get near a Titan. Once you are near a Titan, you'll press a shoulder button on your controller to start targeting either their limbs or the nape of their neck, which is their weak point. You can then use your zip line to attach to one of those targets, then press the X button.
Why is he bothering with spoilers? The show has been out for like years now. I mean, at this point, if you don't know the ending, then I don't know why. I mean, okay. This is not that big of a deal at this point, but whatever. I mean, that's just me.
Button to jet propulse towards it, and then as you're about to touch it, you press the triangle button in order to strike that limb and or the nape of the neck. Once that connects, it deals damage, and either the limb will be completely severed once its health is depleted, or you'll just have to hack at it a few more times in order to actually get it to sever. If you strike the nape of the neck enough times and reduce its health bar, that Titan will die. Now, there's a little bit of kind of a mini game here, because if you actually hack certain limbs, you'll get crafting materials that once you complete a certain stage, you'll be able to actually either buy these materials or earn them in the field by hacking off these limbs, and then upgrade your weapons and your gear to either deal more damage, or maybe you can move a little bit faster with your jet propulsion. There's also a mechanic in the game by which your weapons will actually wear down, and you have to use a replacement blade in order to keep fighting, or else you're going to do negligible to no damage. There's also a gas management system by which you need to propulse yourself around with your Omni tool. Well, if you're out of gas, you can't do it. You actually have to find more gas on the field. And so it's not only about attacking these Titans, but it's also about kind of keeping your eye on your mini-map in the corner of the screen to make sure that at any time you're near one of the very plentiful item replenishment stations. So there's a lot going on in the game all at once. It's combat, it's moving around, it's micromanaging your materials, it's trying to strike at the weak points to get these materials to upgrade your stuff later on. And so that's the basic premise. In addition to just major mission objectives, which are usually marked with either a red exclamation point or a red flag on your minimap, there's also going to be some side quests that open up, and it actually makes sense to do these because a lot of the times when you go to these little green icons on the map, you'll be able to rescue someone who's from the anime or manga who will then join your team, and that's one other gameplay mechanic that I should mention. You can have a team of up to 4 Titan Slayers at once, by which those other Titan Slayers will follow you around the map depending on where you're going. You actually have the ability to command them and tell them, try to defend me or attack this certain target that I'm targeting for kind of a group coordinated attack. It's kind of neat, and it definitely makes sense to go around the map doing the side quests because you get these recruits who will help you to make the missions easier, but also it helps you in your stage rankings. The better ranking that you get by the end of a stage will allow you to earn more currency and allow you to upgrade your gear more, which of course is going to make the game easier. So it's going to make sense for you to not only just try to complete the main objective of a stage, but also do all the side objectives. In addition, the more Titans you kill, it's called more subjugations, and that'll earn you more points as well. And the speed at which you complete the stage also is a factor in your final rankings. So at all times when you're playing the game, it's kind of free-flowing.
This is a very boring review, and he was on Twitter saying, actually, you know what, we're gonna go to his Twitter. Let's go to Twitter. Twitter. Boop boop beep bop boop. Okay. Boop boop boop. Oh, that was a spoiler. Oopsie doopsie. Okay. Still editing the Attack on Titan review, going to be about 20 minutes long, as I have a lot to say because I both liked and disliked it for reasons. No shit, really? You liked it, and there's stuff you didn't like about it? Whoa, man. I get a laugh when told my reviews aren't entertaining enough. That's not the point. Mine are some of the most detailed on the net. No, no. His reviews are not detailed at all. They're very general and just bland. I mean, already when you're watching this is stuff that you can kind of figure out without watching a review. The review should be a quick summary of things, and then saying like, how did that impact your experience? Like, did these things just to get to his opinion? It's taking forever. The fact that I stopped the video and went here is to show how boring that review was, and it does need to be entertaining. Like, look, the review can't the fact that he's also trying to use his fake voice, it shows that he's trying to make it entertaining. If it wasn't trying to be entertaining, then he wouldn't be like, well, we are playing Attack on Titan, and in Attack on Titan, there's gasoline you need to use. You get to swing around like Spider-Man. Like, he wouldn't be talking like that. He would be talking like a normal person, but he isn't because he's trying to sound entertaining. I guarantee if someone said that his reviews are boring or criticize his review in some way, he would say, these are entertaining reviews. He would change his tune immediately because that's the kind of person he is. But it is very boring, and it doesn't get to the point at all. Like, it's not something that he should even be bragging about. So then he goes on to saying, there are plenty out there who do a quick reviews with too little info, or focused on skits, cosplay. That's not me. I'm about the truth. If I wanted to make comedy skits, I would. If you're watching reviews for that reason, you're doing it wrong. Sorry, but it had to be said. But he said that you're a fucking elitist asshole if you tell someone they're doing something wrong. Yeah. So Phil always participates in things that he disses all the time. As far as comedy skits, well, look at how he titled his reviews. They're all kind of lame pun jokes. There was lame sound effects in the Ghostbusters review. I mean, it's just it's very bipolar what he's saying now, and people who do skits and cosplay, he's kind of alluding to Angry Joe. He's kind of talking about that because he does do skits and cosplay and all that shit. I mean, there are other reviewers that do the same, but those accompany the review. It's not just skits and cosplay and then that's the review. Did he say anything else? Okay. I think both review equally the same. You're just direct about it. It's a matter of preference. I just hate being told I'm worse than someone else because I didn't integrate comedy or high production into a truthful review. Sigh. But like, you need to put more production into your reviews. Your reviews are so bland. Like, I mean, it's just the only, I don't know. Like, it wouldn't be that bad, but his original reviews were way better, where he was just talking about the fucking game. And he had, like, a picture-in-picture, like, that stuff was very entertaining. That's why when I do reviews on my main channel, I mean, I don't think I did it recently, but it was just a speed art of me drawing stuff. But now I'm now, for my Ruby Volume 3 review, I'm gonna have picture-in-picture going on with it. So it's gonna have more, like, stuff going on, it's more fun that way, but whatever. let's go back to the review. I said what I wanted to say about his Twitter.
And interesting, you're juggling around all these tasks in the back of your head at once, and it kind of becomes an interesting experience. Well, at least for the first few hours of gameplay. And the reason that I say it like that is because the more you play Attack on Titan, despite the fact that it is developing the story of the anime, what you're going to find out is that about 85% of the time this game is booted, you're going to be killing Titans that are just plain generic. There's never any real variety to what you're doing, outside of maybe seeing the different locations, such as the plains or a canyon that you're riding your horse through, or the different locations of a city. Outside of that, it's just the same gameplay over and over. Zip line across the city, save someone who's being attacked by Titans, zip across the city again, save someone who's attacked by Titans, kill the Titans, kill the Titans, kill the Titans, Titans. Wash, rinse, and repeat, and that is Attack on Titan.
But like, he likes games that are very simple like that, though. I mean, just look at how he talked about Uncharted 4 and all these other games. I mean, it's just whatever. Let's continue.
In a nutshell, it becomes incredibly repetitive after about 4 to 5 hours of this, when you realize they really didn't do much to try to break the mold or do anything outside of the plotline of the anime. It pretty much adheres directly to it, which means obviously there's not going to be any surprises or anything that you didn't expect. In fact, I would even go as far to say that this game doesn't do as good of a job as the anime to developing the plot, because there's actually critical things that happen in the anime as backstory and cutscenes that explain things going on that are completely absent from this game. So if you're not a reader of the manga and you're not a fan of the anime, not only are you going to get bored by the gameplay after a few hours when you realize this is all there is, but you're also going to find yourself maybe scratching your head as to, gee, why does this particular human get to transform into this form, and what happened with this person? Because most of the kind of backstory development is completely cut out of the game. So if you're not a hardcore fan, I think you're going to have a really hard time playing this more than just...
I really have a feeling that it is explained in the game, because there's scenes that are directly ripped from the anime. But I don't know. Who just plays the video game based on the anime first? I've not seen anybody do that at all, but whatever.
A couple of hours. Now, in the game's defense, there is a little bit of variety, because over the course of the story of the game, you get to play as different characters. And they all have their little eccentricities. Some characters can do multi-strikes, meaning they can attack a certain weak point more than once. One particular character can actually command his teammates to attack for him, and he never even has to attack. He's more like a commander on the field. So there is a little bit, but for the most part, yeah, you're not really going to have freeform control of who you control at any time. You're only going to be playing certain characters at certain times in the storyline, and it really does become kind of a very repetitive grind. Now, after you complete the main story of the game, which incidentally ends right at the end of Season 1 of the anime, the game will roll credits, but then you'll realize it keeps playing, and you wonder, gee, I wonder what else is going on here. Well, the game then explains you've opened up the...
But, like, there's a lot of games that do that now. I mean, no one's gonna be like, oh, credits, what? There's more to the game? I've never seen this before. Like, Peace Walker did it, MGS5 did it. Oh, excuse me. And, I mean, those are the only two that come to my mind, because I've been playing more Metal Gear than any other game, so I'm sure that this concept of more to go on after the credits isn't new to anyone, but whatever.
Epilogue mode. Now, this mode allows you to continue playing the game in a series of repetitive side missions, by which you will, well, guess what?
Yeah, he didn't finish the side missions, but, oh, I heard something weird.
Continue playing the game in a series of repetitive side missions, by which you will, well, guess what?
Did you hear that?
Continue playing the game in a series of repetitive side missions, by which you will, well, guess what?
Which you regret? Like what?
Kill more Titans. Yeah, you'll go around these kind of empty fields, you'll be killing Titans within a certain time period, and the better you do and the more Titans you kill and the more side quests you complete while doing it, you'll get higher rankings, you'll earn more experience points, you'll earn more crafting points so you can improve your weapons and equipment even more. And once you do about 6 to 7 repetitive side missions that could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes a pop. The game will then unlock a special epilogue mission for you. Think of this more like a hidden secret mission that actually continues the plotline of Attack on Titan past where the anime has gone up to now, and actually starts investigating the plot lines from the manga. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because for some of us, wow, this is cool, we get a little taste of what's to come, but for others, maybe we don't want to spoil what's coming after the current run of the anime, and so you're going to find yourself, as a fan, maybe...
Honestly, I don't... That's fucking stupid. I mean, like, yeah, the second season's coming, but... allegedly next year, but I wouldn't care. Like, oh boy, it's in the game, I can't wait. Like, I don't fucking care. I think that's fucking pretty cool, if you ask me.
Torn as to do I even want to play these epilogue missions or not, because I really don't want to spoil myself. Now, these epilogue missions are incredibly challenging. They're way more difficult than the story-based missions of the main campaign of the game, and I believe that there's 5 unlockable ones. All in all, if you want to play them all, it's probably going to take you
He doesn't even know how many are unlockable. He doesn't even know, and he's doing a review. What a great reviewer. He couldn't even look it up. He couldn't even do the research for it.
From a half an hour to an hour and a half to unlock each one because of the amount of grinding and repetitive side missions you have to play in order to unlock them. And that's herein where I have a major problem with Attack on Titan. It's not the fact that the game's repetitive, and it's not the fact that really they didn't veer too much from the anime, but then in order to get all the content out of the game, you have to waste time grinding and repetitive missions that are not necessary, add nothing to the game, and by the way, don't even significantly improve the equipment of your character.
He is just whining about this. This is why I thought that he rage quit the game, because he really made it a point. He made it a point to sorry, I'm like running a game, by the way. Sorry, but he made it a point to say that, like, oh, I don't want to keep doing the same shit again. Oh, like, he got really upset that he had to unlock the story missions, and it's like, fucking deal with it. Like, I played Metal Gear Solid 5 and Peace Walker, and you kind of have to you have to grind in both games to unlock more of the story, but it's like, who fucking cares? Deal with it.
It just seems to me like the game realized the story of the game was going to be up.
And also, no one plays games for like as much as Phil. No one plays games for, like, you know, back for like hours on end. I mean, usually if people get bored, they pop in another game to kind of break the monotony. And then they might go back to finish the game. Like, that's a normal... Like, if for the Phantom Pain, when I had to do all that stuff, I was like, okay, I'll do some of it, then I'll stop, and then do something else. Like, I did other stuff in between, because, you know, I don't want to kill the game for me, you know?
In about 8 hours or so, and they said, well, if we're going to sell this for a full retail price, we have to put in some padding. So let's put in these really generic missions that mean nothing to the game and nothing to the gamer. They have no plot line whatsoever, so that they could get those extra epilogue missions unlocked and pad the length of our game. Because the bottom line is, you could lie and say, oh, Attack on Titan is a 20-hour game. True, if you play through the story, you do tons of the repetitive grinding to unlock all the epilogue missions, but the truth of the matter is, Attack on Titan is about 8 to 10 hours long, with about 10 hours of repetitive side mission padding that most players are probably never going to bother doing.
A part of me knew that this was good, that this game wasn't worth $60, to be honest. I mean, it looks cool, it looks good. But I don't see this as a $60 purchase.
So, I have a major problem with the game in 2016 where I pay full price, $60 in America, to buy this game, and you're telling me to get all the content, I have to repetitively grind in your game and waste hours upon hours of my time. No, this isn't the 1980s anymore, where game developers did that because, we can't fit...
I hate that he says that he keeps using this. Was not the 80s where you have cartridges. Fuck off with that. Just fuck off.
Too much data on the cartridge, so we're gonna have you grind to say there's more gameplay because we couldn't fit it on the cartridge or the disc. No, it's not that situation anymore. It's artificial padding, it's disrespectful to the gamer. If I paid you for the content, give me the content. When I beat the story, give me the 5 epilogue missions to play, Still give me those side missions, but don't make them mandatory. If I feel like playing them, allow me to. But don't force me to be bored to tears because you want to pad the length of your game and make it look longer than it is. It's incredibly, ridiculously stupid. It is important to note two different things. Number one, once you do beat the main story of Attack on Titan, you can now play as many of the major characters from the anime in the endgame epilogue and side missions. So if you want a little bit of variety of gameplay rather than just the same thing over and over, try switching characters because some of them will have unique abilities that the others didn't that make the game a little bit different, but the bottom line is you're still going to be just killing those same generic Titans. Now there is another game mode called Expedition Mode, and again, as you complete story mode, you unlock characters to play in that mode. This is the online cooperative mode, by which you can actually play with other humans. Now, I would love to go at length about this mode, except the fact that it really is completely pointless. This mode adds nothing to the game. Is it cool to be teaming up with other people online? Sure, because it's easier. Unlike the AI of this game, which tends to kind of flub around and not necessarily help you too much during the story, human companions are obviously going to know to do the same thing as you. Hone in on the weak points, take out the limbs, hit at the nape of the neck, and it makes it incredibly easy. But there's literally no reason to play the mode. There's no story that unlocks. There's really no benefit to playing it.
How about playing it to have fun? Playing a game to have fun? What?
Besides saying, oh, this game has an online cooperative mode. There's no competition, there's nothing. It's just more boring, repetitive Titan slaying with other humans to share in your boredom. So it kind of sucks because I would love to say, man, it's great that this mode's in the game. Quite honestly, it's completely superfluous. It means absolutely nothing, and they could have easily omitted it, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, why
so let's quickly talk positives and negatives. Positives, the game directly follows the plotline of the anime, and if you're a fan, you're gonna love being a part of interact.
We're just repeating ourselves. Like it was over. Like after that could have been the end. He's gonna go over the same points he spent 14 minutes talking about.
In these action scenes and critical plot points that happen during the course of the anime series, and I think that if you are a fan of the series, you're absolutely going to love this. The freeform movement. They did a great job here of moving around the city, giving you free roam. You feel like you're playing a Spider-Man game or something similar, and I do have to say that the combat is pretty fun once you get the hang of it, and you're zipping around the city easily, hacking at the weak points and going at the nape and doing combo kills. It really could lead up to be something awesome. I do want to also comment on the graphic style and say I think they did the right thing here. A lot of these games that are from...
But see, like, when you listen to his voice when he's talking like this, he's not taking any breaths. He's waiting until he finishes a sentence or a portion, and then he takes a breath. Because that's why his voice gets very, like, exhausted by the end. Like, you know, if I keep talking like this and without taking any breaks and keep going on and on and on and, you know, forming the sentence together, because I think this is the best way to engage people to watch my video, because this is the best way to watch this video. See how like, you know, exhausting that is and how it stretches everything out and it doesn't sound like a fucking human? There you go.
Anime or manga, go for a cel-shaded look. They didn't do that with Attack on Titan. They did try to make it very similar to the anime, and I like the graphical style altogether. Now let's talk negatives. First off, the camera. I'd say about 90% of the time the camera of Attack on Titan is great, but 10% of the time, especially when you're in like a tight street and you've got multiple Titans on one narrow area and you're trying to zip around them and maybe get to their weak points, the camera can tend to get stuck either between houses or under a Titan. Sometimes a Titan will land on you and now the camera won't even move, so all you see is a Titan up close and personal as its dead body is laying on the ground, and you can't tell what the holy hell is going on. It can be incredibly frustrating when you're at the climax of the stage, the end part, where all you need to do is kill one or two specific Titans, and you can't get the camera to focus where you need it. Really annoying. In addition, there are parts in the game when there's a lot of Titans on the screen, and unfortunately on the PlayStation 4 I did suffer some pretty severe frame rate dips during these scenes, whether it was an epic boss fight and all the minions were around them or whatever, or just a large grouping of the small Titans. It happened, and it's really annoying. Again, you're trying to control your character, you're trying to zip around and be able to do this effortlessly, and you can't because the frame rate starts to tank, your inputs start to delay a little bit, and it's hard to tell what you're supposed to be doing when the frame rate is tanking so badly.
Like, ever since you played Street Fighter V, input delay has been, like, more prevalent with games. Have you noticed that? That now input delay has seeped into more than just Street Fighter.
In addition, there were a few missions in the epilogue where the game wanted me to escort certain characters around the map. Well, unfortunately, I found a few game bugs where these characters you were supposed to escort wouldn't walk. They would just stand still. And so I'm standing next to them, move. I'm supposed to escort you, move, and they wouldn't. I would actually have to go away from them across the map by myself to trigger them to start walking. But then they would get attacked by Titans, and I couldn't save them because guess what? They wouldn't trigger when I was next to them, which was what I was supposed to be doing.
Wait, so, like, they stood still because you weren't leading them? Like, that's very basic. If you're escorting someone, you have to go forward, and then they'll follow. That's how it's always been.
The mission. So it seems like there are some kind of critical scripting bugs and things with the coding of the game that maybe start to fall apart near the end, and that's a little bit of a disappointment. But ultimately, the biggest disappointment with Attack on Titan is its repetitiveness. It's just so much of a grind by the time you get through the story to just kill more Titans, and kill more Titans. If they had found anything, any way to innovate and put something a little bit different into the game besides just the killing of the Titans, which is the main focus, maybe it would have felt like a more complete experience. But for me, translating this anime and manga into a video game didn't necessarily work. It feels to me more like I'm just kind of doing a repetitive thing than an enjoyable thing. And by the way, once that story ends and you're forced to grind out...
It's kind of funny that he said in all his pre-streams that the anime is repetitive. So just keep that in mind. He said the anime is repetitive. So...
mass to unlock the epilogue episodes. I'd rather have someone pull my teeth out. It's that boring. It's just like, God. I want to get every ounce of quality out of the game, but I don't want to waste my time doing it, and that's a bad feeling to have for a game that you just spent money on. And so ultimately, if you were to ask me the question, is Attack on Titan a great adaptation of the manga and anime? I would say yes, it follows closely along those two, although it does leave out critical plot points that maybe you would need in order to understand it fully. And ultimately, if you play this game but did not watch the anime or read the manga, you're going to want to go do that because you'll get a lot more supplementary materials that'll make it make more sense. I would say it does kind of do a good job at least giving you the summary. But if you were to ask me, does this game translate Attack on Titan well into a video game, I would probably say yes and no. Yes, because yeah, what you're doing in the game is primarily what happens in the series, but no, because it's just not that entertaining. The story by far is the best part. The gameplay is just kind of meh. After you play it for a couple of hours and you've killed your first 100 Titans...
Meh. This fucking guy is a professional reviewer, well, professional, and he uses the words meh. I really hate when people, when they talk about a game and they want their review to be taken seriously, and then they say meh, like, no, fucking elaborate on your fucking thought. Don't just don't just cash in. Don't just cop out like, well, the gameplay is meh. You sound like a fucking idiot. And this is a little event. I'm sorry, but I also hate when people say the feels. Say what you feel. I know that sounds like kind of a contradiction, but don't be like, oh my god, I saw a Steven Universe said, and maybe it feels, man. The feels. Oh, I feel the feels and the feels. Fucking talk like a fucking adult.
You're gonna start to get bored, and I would find it really difficult for someone to justify me a $60 price tag for a game where you've seen pretty much all of the gameplay of that game within the first hour and a half. I don't know. For me, it's a tough sell. I definitely enjoyed playing the game, but that's because I was a fan. If I had never watched this anime or read the manga, I probably would have hated this game and said it was...
But guess what? Guess what this game was for? It was for fans. This game was made for Attack on Titan fans. It was very clear that that's what they were trying to cash in on.
Incredibly boring. So overall, I have to factor that into my review. The game's functional, but it has problems with the camera and the frame rate. The game is fun and follows the manga and the anime, but at the same time, it's incredibly repetitive and boring when it comes to translating into an entertaining game. I give Attack
Hold on, I
on
wanna hear that
boring when
again.
it comes to translating into an entertaining game.
Entertaining. What?
At the same time, it's incredibly repetitive and boring when it comes to translating into an entertaining game.
Dude, every review Oh my god, I've noticed something about this. Every review he has been doing lately, he has to be drunk. He has to be drunk because he's slurring words. He's like, entertaining. Go out, dude. That was like the second thing That's the second time I picked up in this review that he sounds like he was drunk. Like, that's an entertaining game. What the fuck is going on?
I give Attack on Titan, also known as Wings of Freedom, a 6 out of 10. Sorry, I wish that I could have given it a higher score, but it would have had to do something more as a game to entertain me. And quite honestly, just watching the anime is a much more entertaining experience than playing through this game. This is kind of an attempt to turn one media of entertainment into another. In my opinion, it didn't work out so well. It's certainly a functional game, but it's not a great one. It's certainly not a must-buy, and I would basically say the only people who should play this are people who are already existing fans of the series. Alright, and that's it for my review of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom. I hope that you enjoyed the review, and if you did, please consider giving it a like here on YouTube, as well as spreading the word about KOGaming amongst your friends and people that you know who watch YouTube videos. Please check out the description of this video for a link to my raw video game playthrough of Attack on Titan over on my partner channel DSP Gaming. And also, please check out my Loot Crate discount link as well as my Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching as always, everyone, and I'll see you next time right here on KOGaming.
Wow. So let's see. 2016, where I paid full price, and you're telling me I have to grind. Oh, so he's just putting up quotes. Yeah, he's putting up quotes of the review. Game is true to the series, but doesn't okay. Anything else? Only thing good about Titan is seeing humans get slaughtered by Titans. The plot. This is just filler bullshit that never go anywhere. This was the game. Not having enough backstory to do the main story of the anime justice. Sorry, but the story of Attack on Titan is shit. Yeah, the story is it's not really great, to be honest. It's not bad, but it's not doesn't really stand out as a good story. Okay, I think that's it. So that's it for this video. This video that I'm surprised I decided to do. But that's it for this video. See you guys next time. And, yeah, has anyone else noticed that? What I said about, how, this Attack on Titan is another video that has him, slurring words or something? I mean, is he drunk? I think he is, but whatever. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time on this channel or my main channel if you have subscribed to that. Later.